In 1648, during the sacking of Prague, Swedish soldiers carried off countless treasures, but none as infamous as the Codex Gigas, known to the world as the Devil's Bible. The massive tome, bound in leather supposedly crafted from human skin, holds biblical texts, medical knowledge, and a chilling full-page illustration of the devil himself. For centuries, scholars debated its origins and purpose, dismissing the darker claims as superstition. Until now. Dr. Lena Richter, a linguistics expert at the University of Uppsala, was never one to believe in curses. Her life revolved around facts, languages, and history. But when the Swedish National Archives invited her to examine new ultraviolet scans of the Codex Gigas, curiosity got the better of her. The scans revealed something extraordinary: 5 cryptic symbols faintly etched into the parchment, invisible to the naked eye. Each symbol seemed to pulse under the scanner, as if alive. "What do you think they mean?" asked her assistant, Johan, peering over her shoulder. "They're not Latin, not Greek. I've never seen anything like this," Lena murmured, a chill running down her spine. Her pulse quickened when her translation software returned fragments like awakening, sacrifice, and blood moon. That night, Lena returned home, her mind racing. Against her better judgment, she took photographs of the symbols and fed them into an AI translation model. As midnight approached, the screen flickered, displaying a line that froze her blood. "When the 5th symbol is revealed, darkness shall consume the earth." Her phone buzzed. A text from Johan. "Lena, turn on the news. Now." She fumbled for the remote. The anchor's face was pale. Reports are coming in from across Europe: unexplained blackouts, red-tinged rain, and seismic activity beneath major cities. Lena glanced back at her laptop. Her screen had gone dark. Just as she reached to close it, the display lit up with the devil's face from the Codex Gigas, grinning wider than it should have been possible. And then the whispering began. Lena barely slept. The whispers from her laptop haunted her, even after she yanked out the power cord and shut it down. Her phone buzzed again at dawn. "Johan. Lena, we need to talk. It's about the 1st symbol," his voice quivered through the speaker. They met at the university's library, surrounded by centuries of ancient texts. Johan spread out printouts of the symbols across the table. "Look at this." He pointed to the first one, a circular symbol with jagged lines radiating outward. "I cross-referenced this with medieval astronomical charts. It matches depictions of a blood moon, but not just any blood moon. This one coincides with a lunar eclipse happening tonight." Lena's stomach twisted. The translation mentioned a crimson moon. "You think it's predicting tonight's eclipse?" "It's more than that," Johan whispered. "Legends surrounding the Codex Gigas say the 1st symbol heralds awakening. Earthquakes, red rain, it's happening." Despite the logical part of her brain screaming to walk away, Lena felt drawn to uncover more. Hours later, they sat beneath the university's observatory dome, staring at the rust-red moon hanging in the sky. Without warning, Lena's phone buzzed with an emergency alert. "Unexplained global phenomena, seek shelter." Then, the ground quivered. Lena's vision blurred. In the sky, a shape formed against the crimson moon, twisting, serpentine, ancient. Around her, people gasped and fled, but she couldn't move. Her mind echoed with the whisper, "One down. 4 to go." Johan grabbed her arm. "We have to go, now." As they ran, Lena glanced back. A symbol, the same as the first one, burned itself onto the surface of the moon, visible to the entire world. The Codex Gigas had predicted it. And worse, this was only the beginning. Lena's apartment felt like a prison. The news channels showed chaotic scenes, blood-red rain, mass panic, and the moon still stained crimson. Her hands trembled as she opened the Codex Gigas scans. 5 symbols. 1 catastrophe down. Johan called. "Meet me at the cathedral archives. I think I found the 2nd symbol." Inside the stone-walled archives, Lena found Johan pale-faced, pointing at a page. The next symbol resembled a crown, but inverted. "It's called the Hollow Crown," Johan whispered. "Every reference I've found links it to the fall of leadership and mass betrayal." As they read, church bells outside clanged violently, then stopped. Lena's phone buzzed, breaking. World leaders missing after emergency summit evacuation. Johann's face drained of color. It's happening right now. Their research took a chilling turn. An obscure passage warned, when the hollow crown is cast, the Serpent of Chaos claims the throne. Lena's email dinged. An anonymous message, "Stop decoding, or you'll be next." Ignoring it, she focused on the final translation. Johann hesitated. There's a ritual tied to the hollow crown, something about voices from beneath. The floor beneath them rumbled. Whispers echoed from cracks forming in the stone. Lena's breath caught as faint silhouettes emerged from the shadows, figures wearing twisted crowns of bone. One figure stepped forward. His voice was everywhere. 2 seals broken. 3 remain. Johann pulled Lena out of the room. We've unleashed something we don't understand. Lena's mind raced. 2 symbols, 2 disasters. And the third. The notes mentioned Ashen Wings. Something stirred in the sky outside. Lena and Johann barely escaped the cathedral archives, the chilling whispers echoing in their ears. Outside, the sky had darkened unnaturally. Clouds twisted into ominous spirals, and a distant rumbling vibrated through the air. Back in Lena's apartment, they pored over the Codex Gigas scans. The third symbol, Johann said, pointing to an illustration, a pair of massive wings, blackened and decayed. Underneath, Latin text read, "Cum volat sinir, sicidit terra." "When it flies with ash, the earth shall fall," Lena translated. Her voice trembled. Ashen Wings. Could it mean a global disaster from the sky? Suddenly, Lena's phone buzzed with news alerts. Mysterious ash cloud blankets major cities. Flights grounded. Visibility near zero. Johann's face paled. It's happening again. They dug deeper, finding references to an ancient ritual tied to the Ashen Wings, one that could summon or banish the darkness. It required a location marked with the third symbol. Lena's map revealed an unsettling pattern. All 3 symbols formed a triangle, with the center pointing to an abandoned monastery. That night, they ventured to the monastery's ruins. The air grew thick with ash, coating their clothes and stinging their eyes. Deep inside, a massive mural depicted the Ashen Wings spreading across the sky. At its base, an altar held an ancient dagger, its blade etched with the same winged symbol. Johann hesitated. What if using this triggers the next disaster? Lena, torn between fear and urgency, grasped the dagger. Her surroundings warped. In a haze, she saw visions, cities consumed by darkness, people suffocating under ash, and a figure with burning eyes whispering, 3 seals broken. Snapping back, she dropped the dagger. The next symbol, she gasped, recalling the notes, is the serpent's eye. Above them, the ceiling creaked. Ash rained down. Johann grabbed her arm. "We need to get out, now." 3 seals broken. 2 remain. Lena and Johann barely escaped the collapsing monastery, the ash cloud thickening behind them like a living entity. Their clothes were tattered, lungs burning, yet the urgency pressed on. 3 symbols revealed, 2 left. Back in their cramped hotel room, Lena scanned the Codex Gigas pages again, fingers trembling. There it was, the 4th symbol, a serpent devouring its own tail, but within its coils, an eye. Below, ancient text read, "Ocula serpentis revelabit veritatem et chaos." Johann translated, "The serpent's eye shall reveal truth, and chaos." His face darkened. Whatever's next, it's worse. A knock startled them. Lena cautiously opened the door to reveal Father Elias, the priest from the archives. His face was grave. "You've stirred ancient forces," he warned. "The serpent's eye isn't just a symbol, it's a gateway." He revealed the location of the next clue, a catacomb beneath the city, long sealed. Hours later, they descended into the darkness, air damp with the scent of decay. Deep underground, they found an ancient mural, a massive serpent circling a stone door. In the center, an eye socket meant to be filled. Lena's breath caught. The dagger's hilt, It's shaped like this. With a shaking hand, she inserted the dagger. The door rumbled open. Cold wind howled through, extinguishing their torches. Beyond lay a vast chamber where walls seemed alive, covered in carvings that shifted when unobserved. At the center stood an obsidian pedestal holding a mirror. But when Lena looked in, she didn't see herself. She saw cities crumbling, oceans swallowing land, skies torn apart by serpentine shadows. Johann yanked her back. "Lena, don't look, it feeds on you." Father Elias stepped forward, chanting an ancient incantation. But the mirror's surface rippled, and an eye formed, blazing red, staring directly at them. "For seals broken," a voice rumbled. "The final awakening begins." Lena's heart pounded. "What's the last symbol?" Father Elias whispered, voice breaking, "The hand that ends all." Above them, the ground shook violently. The catacombs trembled beneath their feet, dust raining from the ceiling. Lena, Johann, and Father Elias sprinted back through the darkness, the echo of that disembodied voice still reverberating in their skulls. "For seals broken. The final awakening begins." Back on the surface, the sky churned with unnatural clouds, blood-red lightning arcing across the horizon. Lena clutched the Codex Gigas tightly. "There has to be a way to stop this," she gasped. "We just need to find the last symbol." Father Elias's face was pale. "The hand that ends all, it's not just a symbol. It's a summoning. If all 5 are revealed, there's no turning back." Johann pulled out a torn map. The final symbol is said to be hidden beneath the old cathedral ruins. His voice cracked. But those grounds were cursed, sealed off after the last expedition vanished. They had no choice. The ruins of St. Marcellus Cathedral. Moonlight barely pierced the dense fog enveloping the ruins. Crumbling archways loomed like skeletal fingers clawing at the sky. Every step echoed through the hollow remains of the past. Deep inside, they found it, an altar stained with something too old to name. Carved into the stone was the 5th symbol, a severed hand reaching downward, surrounded by burning eyes. Father Elias's voice trembled. It's said that when the 5th symbol is activated, the sleeper awakens, a force beyond comprehension. Lena hesitated but pressed her hand against the carving. The floor cracked open beneath them. The chamber of hands. They landed in a massive underground cavern. Giant stone hands jutted from the walls, some open, some clenched into fists. At the center, a monolithic hand statue, palm facing upward, holding a black sphere that pulsed with a heartbeat. Lena reached toward it, but Johann grabbed her wrist. "Touching that might be the end of everything." Father Elias began chanting again, voice echoing, but the sphere cracked open, and from the shadows emerged a titanic figure, its face obscured, but its hand raised to the heavens. The voice returned, booming, "All seals broken. Judgment falls." Above them, the cavern shook violently. Lena's mind screamed, visions of the world unraveling flashing before her eyes. "We can't stop it," Johann shouted. But Lena's gaze locked onto the dagger, its blade now glowing. Desperation flooding her, she drove it into the hand statue's palm. Silence. The cavern trembled, then stilled. The figure recoiled, fading into darkness, its voice a dying whisper. "The cycle will begin again." They emerged hours later into a calm night. No red skies. No earthquakes. Just stars. Lena collapsed onto the grass. "Did we stop it?" Father Elias shook his head. "Temporarily. These symbols, they're part of a cycle. Someday, someone else will break them again." Johann sighed. "Then let's hope they don't find this place." But far off, in the depths of the ruins, the sphere's shattered pieces twitched. The Devil's Bible may be closed, but its pages never stop turning.